Hey, I'm Isabel Bercaw, and when I was 12 years old, I founded a multi-million-dollar bath and body products company called the Bomb Bath. After 5 years of building my own brand, I've discovered a passion for helping young and innovative entrepreneurs tell their stories. Hopefully, you'll be inspired by the guests here on Build-A-Biz and maybe even motivated to start a business of your own. Let's get into it.
This is Build-A-Biz with Isabel Bercaw.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Build-A-Biz. I'm Isabel Bercaw, your host, and today I have with me Fiona Frills, the YouTuber and entrepreneur behind the skincare and makeup line Frilliance. Fiona, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you. I am so excited to chat. Oh my God, I love you and I love everything that you're doing. So I'm super excited to get to chatting.
Oh my gosh, ditto. It's really funny, just for the listeners, Fiona is normally based in Arizona, but this week, it's Fashion Week. So we're actually, we're in the same town right now, and we might actually meet up later at a fashion show. So I really hope I get to meet you today.
Absolutely. Yes. No, I so want to meet you like in person. I would love that. It's definitely, I feel like it's destiny. Like we have to.
We gotta. We exchange numbers and everything. So let's talk, we can maybe talk about business when we meet, but first let's let the audience know, or the listeners know, what your business is.
Yes. So my business is called Frilliance, like brilliance, but with an F. And I created it when I was 13 years old because I was struggling so much with my skin. At the time, I was doing a mixture of like acting and modeling and YouTube. And I constantly had like stuff on my face, like either skincare or makeup. And I love trying makeup. Like it has always been like a passion of mine, like ever since I was 8 years old and like digging through like bags to find like lipstick to draw on my face, which looked terrible. But I created it because I was really just breaking out and I was struggling with finding a brand that understood teen skin, because I feel like so many brands are created by older men who just don't understand skin in general, and especially teen skin. And I just felt like there was a very big need for a teen beauty company and skincare company. So I decided to create it.
That's so cool. I also struggled with acne growing up, and I've been on every single acne medication, and it just seems like when you go to the store, it's not so much young people who have the power of the dollar to spend on skincare. So a lot of the skincare ends up being for people who do have the power of the dollar, and those people oftentimes are buying makeup and skincare for older skin, like wrinkles, wrinkle prevention, and all that stuff. So I really wish I could have found your brand when I was younger, because I was also struggling with that too. And I think it's good to hear as well that someone like you, who's this big YouTuber, you have 68K followers on Instagram. You have a ton of YouTube subscribers. You're a model, actress, all that good stuff. And you also struggle with acne, just like me, a normal person. So it's like, it's a good scale, I think, just to show that it all evens out and everybody struggles with skin problems.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not talked about enough. I feel like it really like lowers your self-confidence. Like when I have acne, like especially then, like I already was very self-conscious because people would like comment about my face or just random things, like which is like a part of like social media and a part of like just the career I was mainly in at the time. And I was so insecure and I just did not want other girls to have to deal with that. I was like, it's so hard, especially in like the young teen years, to deal with skin issues and self-confidence issues. So yeah, no, I just really want to help other girls with their skin and make it affordable, because that is a huge struggle, as I feel like so many brands create these insanely expensive companies. Like, oh my gosh, like these serums and these face products are literally like $80 sometimes. I'm like, what? I'm like, that is not fair to so many people.
Yeah, I saw something kind of hilarious. I think Kendall Jenner was promoting a brand, and then one of the comments said, this brand didn't solve your acne. It was just quote unquote rich people serums. So that always stuck with me. I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, no shade to Kendall Jenner, but that kind of makes sense. Like, the more money you have, it shouldn't be the better your skin can be. Skincare should be accessible to all, including, maybe somebody who's getting an allowance for doing chores, who isn't old enough to have a job yet, who might have some money from a lemonade stand and maybe wants to get a little bit of makeup for themselves. It could be something a little bit, more unofficial than that. And, it's important to be able to make that accessible to everybody. So that's super cool that you're doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I so agree with whoever commented that on Kendall Jenner's post. There's so many creators and people promote products that I just know aren't good. After researching countless just ingredients and products, I'm just why are you promoting this? This is not good for people's skin.
Well, I feel like you and I see eye to eye on why we both started our own businesses, because the reason I started my business was because my sister and I were using bath bombs. We weren't satisfied with the formulas. We were paying twice as much as our bath bombs cost now for just a single bath. And then we were disappointed. It's like, why did I pay $10, $12, $13 so that I could scrub my bathtub clean of oils and pigment and stain myself blue for a week? We really wanted to make a better bath bomb. And I feel like you really wanted to make better skincare at a more affordable price. And also makeup, which is super fun. So can you tell me a little bit about what the process was like to get your company up and running off the ground?
Ooh, yes. How it all kind of started with the lab and getting everything ready. It was a long process for sure. I am super picky when it comes to products. It takes me so long to decide on something, and I'm also a Libra, so I'm really indecisive. Not that really has too much to do with it, but I think it does. But I started researching labs with my mom when I was 13 years old. It was actually, I think it was 12 and a half at that time. And we started going to different labs, touring the facility. And my main goals were, they were gonna I wanted them to let me do the color work and be there and really be hands-on with the experience, because I wanted to learn a lot from it, and I also wanted to make sure I saw everything that was going into it, and it wasn't overseas or anything. My lab is in Hayward, California, so it was really close to where I used to live, so I could drive up there. So we finally picked the lab, and we went through formulations, so many formulations. The formulations took forever. Honestly, I think the lab, my chemist, hated me. She was like, Fiona, just decide on something. But they're also, a very clean lab. They use great ingredients. They do a lot of testing. All the products are, non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic. So we had to go through months of testing as well. And cruelty-free, of course. I love animals. I could never test on animals. So yeah, that was the beginning of it. And then we started working on the website and hiring teen models, which I did the casting for, which was so interesting being on the other side of it. Because before that, I was on the other side of it in front of the camera, doing the auditions. So casting it was really, really cool. So yeah, that's kind of how it all started, was just really doing some research.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I really appreciate that you wanted to understand the process and really be hands-on with that process, because I found that with my own business, we did start by making the products ourselves, but in the long run, I wouldn't regret being involved in that process, because it really helped us understand, steps that needed to be taken in order to, create a new product. And, I felt like it helped my understanding when it came to, modifying the process or, just making certain requests, because you did understand that side of the business as well. Because I feel like you can run two sides of a business. You can run a brand, and then you can also make sure that you're involved in the production of your product, if it is a product. I guess you can do this for a service as well. So I really appreciate that you wanted to be involved in that, because now you are probably much more knowledgeable about that. When you're making decisions about, what products you want to launch, you can, use tips from that as well. For example, my office is right in front of the production area in the back of my big warehouse. And it's really nice because we can just call and we can say, hey, like, we know exactly how a bath bomb is made. Please make a blue bath bomb with a white swirl, for example. And then the people in the back of the warehouse will be able to do that. And then our first employee, his name is Miguel, and he is now one of the warehouse managers. He'll bring up a sample and we get to look at it. And it's super cool to be a part of that process. And it's cool that even though you aren't, yourself physically producing each and every one of these products, you still wanted to be involved in that process. And I'm sure you find it true as well that that it really helps to know what's going on.
Absolutely. And that is so cool. Like your whole setup there, that is so, so cool. I wish I could live at my lab. Like that'd be really, really cool. I'd like just pop in there, whip up some skincare. But no, I so agree. I feel like being hands-on is so, so important. Like you really start to understand everything that goes into it. And I feel like that's very, very important. And I feel like it educates you a lot on your products as well. Cause like I wasn't sure like mixing this with this and this and then this and then there's just so many steps to it. And really seeing it in person in real life, it really made everything kind of come together and made it a lot more special. And I feel like I have such an attachment to my brand. Like it's like a child. So it's great being hands-on for sure.
Okay, so Fiona, we're going to take a really quick music break, and then when we return from the break, we're going to continue to talk about your entrepreneurial story. Hey everybody, welcome back from the music break. I'm Isabel Bercaw, your host, and I'm here today with Fiona Frills, the founder and CEO of the skincare and makeup line Frilliance. And Fiona, I was wondering if you could describe your brand in 3 words, what would your brand be?
I would say clean. All the products are very clean cosmetics, clean skincare. Same with versatile. Like you can use them so many different ways. Like there's so many different ways you can use makeup products. Like you can use the blush on your eyes. You can use the blush on your lips. You can use the lip gloss as highlighter. You can use the highlighter as lipstick. Like everything's very versatile. So versatile. Same with easy, because everything's very easy to do. Like you can use it before a soccer game or at school. Like I wanted to really make sure everything was really easy to use so everyone could understand and apply it properly, because I feel like a lot of products are like kind of like hard to use. I'm like, what the frick? Like I have to use this with this sponge and then this brush. Like what? So it's very easy. So those are my 3 words.
I love it. And that's how it should be too, I think that like maybe if you're a makeup artist, you could be using, some more intense like color palette mixing tools and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, that's a very important quality when it comes to starting a business, because sometimes people will look, I think it was Dyson that did a study on this. They were asking people like, oh, what do you want a new component on this vacuum? Like what kind of fancy aspect do you want to add to this vacuum? And then people got back to them with customer feedback and said, we honestly just want a vacuum we can carry up the stairs without breaking our backs. So then that's how the Dyson, their like light version of that vacuum came out. So I think it's important sometimes to realize that sometimes simpler is better, and that you don't necessarily need to be super complicated when you're making products. Because I remember when I was a little girl and I was really into Harry Potter, and I wanted to make this like intense, super intricate, like wand making machine. And I did not know how to do that. So I tried for hours and hours and hours. And then at the end of the day, my little sister was like, hey, Isabel, we should just make a spell book. And I was like, wait, that does sound really good. So then we decided to write this book, and it was way more simple, but we still got to put our creativity into it. And that's kind of a lame example because it's definitely a little bit silly.
No, I love that. What kind of spells? Were they like love spells? Were they like turn a bottle of water into grape juice? Like what were they? I'm curious.
Oh my God. Okay, so the one that I remember is the most embarrassing. We basically just made up words to rhyme. So we made up a spell to turn us into mermaids.
Oh, I love it.
Everybody who's listening, I was going to think we were just the weirdest kids, but one of the spells was we would say mermaid stirred paid, which is not a word. But we just thought it would turn us into a mermaid. It was so weird. So I'm really glad that you didn't go and try to make a spell book business and that now Frilliance is a thing, because I don't know if people would have bought either of our spell books.
Oh my God. No, I love it though. I don't know why. I used to do something very similar. I would make potions. So like similar idea. And I would mix them in my backyard, like with whipped cream from like the dollar store and like food dye and like dirt and like cat litter. Like I would make the weirdest things. And I'd be like, this can turn you into a mouse. Like literally so stupid, but like I love it. Like I love the creativity. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. That must be a quality of future young entrepreneurs, because I 100% did that as well.
Right? It's weirdly enough, I think I would still do it. Like every once in a while, I'll mix the salt and the pepper together at a restaurant and like make a little concoction because I'm like just sitting there super hungry. So I still kind of do it, which is so embarrassing.
Maybe you and I need to have like a cooking day or something, because maybe that's how we can channel our youthful potion making urges.
God, no, literally, we like make the weirdest meal ever. We name it like the mermaid something or like that would be hilarious. Oh my God, we should.
Do you happen to have any like mermaid themed makeup?
Because like mermaids have the scales, which are kind of like iridescent, shimmery in a way. I would say the highlighter, the illuminating cream, could resemble mermaid-ish powers. Like it's like some secret, like it's like dewy. It makes you look a little like you came out of the ocean with your tail and your scales. I'm really pushing it there. I don't know if it's quite like that, but it is like a nice, like a luminous cream. So maybe that could be a mermaid thing right there.
Yes, or maybe you could even decide that you want to make like a mermaid line eventually.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be actually so fun. I watched H2O way too much as a kid. It stuck with me 100%. I love mermaids.
Totally. We actually have a mermaid bath bomb. So I might have to send you a couple of those, because after having this conversation, it's just a necessity.
I think it is a necessity. We will swap. I'll send you some products, you send me some. It'll be one big happy exchange.
Totally. I like the sound of that. So you're 18 now?
Yes, I just turned. Yeah, or kinda. My birthday's in October, so yeah.
What are your plans? Like, what's next for you?
Honestly, I really want to focus on my company. I used to do YouTube very, very, very consistently. Like I would post almost every day on my vlog channel and then once a week on my main channel and just like random stuff in between. And I focused on that for a long time until like I was a little bit worn out. So I shifted all my efforts really into creating a brand that I'm like really passionate about and just growing it from there. I definitely love building things. I love building like freaking potions. And I also love just like building companies and just really understanding people. So I would say just sticking with Frilliance and making it very accessible for a lot of people and getting it into more stores. That is the goal.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I like that you talk about being passionate and really focusing on what you're passionate about, not necessarily what other people are pushing you to do. I don't know if anyone's pushing you to do YouTube, but I know you have a lot of fans. But I feel like the best content and the best products come from passion. For example, when I was, first starting my business, it really stuck with me that like I had a really amazing product. I wasn't passionate about like toilet paper, for example. I wasn't passionate about like toy cars or, something that other people might be passionate, Pokemon cards, collecting those. I was very passionate about bath bombs, and I feel like that's one of the reasons I was able to push through when times were a little bit more difficult, because I really did love the product that I was putting out there, and I loved what I was doing. So it's cool to see that you recognize that at such a young age, to be able to decide that you're really going to focus on what you're passionate on, because in the end, it's going to result in, you know, maybe a better product than something that you're kind of doing halfway. So that's really cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, totally. And I really want to inspire younger girls and just to embrace their goals and like work towards their goals no matter what anyone else is telling them. Like I want to support them and I want to be an open ear for them and push them in the right direction. I want to create like a community of young, like aspiring entrepreneurs and just really help them like reach their goals, because I have a lot of like resources when it comes to like building a website and marketing and stuff like that, and I want to share as much as I can, because I think that starting a company is one of the most amazing things ever. Like I've learned so much, and it's a very empowering thing to do. You feel very, very proud at the end of the day. It's hard though. It's very hard, which I don't feel like enough people talk about, but it's way worth it.
Yeah, it's especially hard too when you're the one placing limits. And then I think that you and I maybe have a similar personality type in the sense that our passion drives us and not necessarily necessity. So if you come home at the end of the day and you're still excited about something, you might end up, pushing it a little bit too far. But I think if you're having fun and then you can take a step back and realize when you just need a little moment to yourself, a break, something like that. I feel like you said, there's a lot of pressure on kids these days. So like having someone to look up to would be really nice. I feel like you're a really good person for that, because it seems like you understand the hard work, but then you also understand that, passion leads to hard work, which is really cool. And I also feel like you understand that success to you is sharing that success with other people. And I feel like that's really important, because success is different to each person. And when you figure out what success means to you, it makes creating goals a lot easier, because all of a sudden you have this overarching goal that you're going to work towards. And it doesn't always have to be financial. I think a lot of people think like entrepreneurship always has to have like a financial goal in the end. But like my goal, for example, is to just, make people happy and have a happy time with my family and just do what I love. So
Absolutely.
it's really cool.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. We have a lot in common, 100%. Like that is so true. And one way I do like relax at like on a long week or after a long month or something, I take a bath. Like I absolutely love baths. So I really want to try your bath bombs, 100%. And there's a surprise in each one. Like
Yes.
oh my God, I will be on your website way too soon. It's crazy.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm really quick before we go. You mentioned that one of your goals for this coming year is to get into more store locations. So I would just like to have you give a shout out to your social media, because right before we started recording this episode, Fiona let me know some very exciting news. She's going into a 500 store retailer, and everybody listening should follow her on Instagram so they can find out what that retailer is. So Fiona, why don't you shout out your socials for us?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm so excited. So yes, all my social media, including my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, is all Fiona, Fiona, and then Frills, Frills. So yeah, thank you so much. You are incredible and I am very proud of you. And yeah, this was amazing.
Oh, thank you, Fiona. I really enjoyed talking to you. I can't wait to meet you this week.
Same, literally same. Thank you.
Okay, so if you missed the beginning of this interview, or maybe you want to listen to some other interviews, definitely go to the Build-A-Bear YouTube channel, where you'll find a Build-A-Bear Radio playlist. You can click on that playlist and you'll see all the Build-A-Biz episodes that I've done so far. You can also follow me on Instagram at Isabel.Bercaw, where I will be posting weekly updates on who my next guest will be. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.